in some cases, and snow-covered rooftops continue to collapse from the weight of all the snow they've been getting in Massachusetts.
Yeah, part of the roof in the former Bayside Expo Center in Dorchester fell through on Wednesday morning. The building's sprinklers and alarm system were set off by the collapse. Workers smelled natural gas in the building and were able to evacuate before the roof came down. The building was slated for demolition this summer.
Okay, well, there's that. Now it's really down. And the roof of a car wash, by the way, in Peabody, Massachusetts, also partially caved in Wednesday afternoon. Fortunately, no one injured at that collapse.
All right, and in Boston, we're at the second highest snowfall. We've been tracking this record for a while, and we thought Winter Storm Thor could get the city past 95, 96. It didn't quite get there. This is where we're sitting still.
Yeah, 105.7, the number one spot back in the mid-90s, 107.6. We're oh so close. But just how much snow, by the way, can a rooftop take before it collapses?
Yeah, meteorologist Mark Elliott shows us the true weight of snow.
Standing inside this room, you wouldn't think I'd have any problems because of snow accumulation, but right above my head, that's where the real danger lies. A cubic foot of snow can weigh around 7 pounds if the snow is dry and fluffy, but could weigh over 20 pounds if it is wet and compacted. Now, 2 feet of snow over this entire roof would weigh 150,000 pounds. The weight above this room alone is the equivalent of 3 full-size grand pianos. That's enough weight to have the roof cave in, and that's why it's so important to remove the snow. And it's not just the flat roofs you have to watch out for. Pitched roofs can accumulate snow as well. Just look at this roof behind me. You get 2 feet of snow up there, and it's the equivalent of 9 heavy-duty pickup trucks on top of the roof. And when that amount of snow starts to slide, it can easily damage or destroy anything in its path. And that's why we tell you to watch out for those snow-covered roofs. Finally, when it comes to describing that sheer force of the weight of snow, nothing describes it more than the power of an avalanche. A typical avalanche can roll downhill at more than 60 miles per hour, bringing with it a wall of snow, ice, and other debris. And once it's rolling downhill, there is nothing that will stop that force from destroying anything in its path. Unfortunately, once those avalanche conditions are in place, it doesn't take much to trigger the event. Some more snow, rain, thunder, even a skier can bring down that avalanche. So next time you're watching those flurries weightlessly fluttering down to earth, remember, if you get too many of those flurries in one place, you can have massive problems. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
Can we use some special effects to make me look better,
it's
like
so
in the
cool.
studio?
Know,
Do we
right?
have that kind of ability?
That is awesome. Really well done. Well, we are going to talk about some snow in our winter weather update, but more importantly, a pattern change, warmer temperatures ahead.
Yeah, and spring break here for a lot of people. The question is, will it feel like spring break? How far south will you have to get into the warmth? We'll tell you that coming up after the break.
Home, Dad.
Thanks, buddy.
Does he know what he's doing?
He knows what he's doing.
Ready, Star Command. Prepare for launch.
This should be good.
To infinity!
We all have a Disney side.
Everyone in the car, let's go get them.
And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
What's he doing? You think I have time to run into?
Golfsmith. Anything for golf.
Atlantic Beach Sports.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Louisville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Weekday mornings, Jim Cantori, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, starting at 7.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, cloudy with occasional rain showers. High 81. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, showers early. Low 68. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, cloudy with showers. High 78. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When Ted's battery light lit up, his morning went from bad to worse. But after a pit stop at AutoZone, where they checked that for free, Ted was back to peak performance. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Right now at Men's Warehouse, save on select clearance items. Get clearance suits for only $149.99. Clearance non-iron dress shirts for $29.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Confidence suits you. Only at Men's Warehouse.
I need to talk to you. I got something wrong with me.
Julianne Moore is the winner of the Academy Award.
I have Alzheimer's disease.
The winner of the Golden Globe Award.
I hate this is happening to me.
And the winner of the Screen Actors Guild Award.
I am not suffering. I am struggling.
Flawless. Mesmerizing. Pitch perfect.
To live in the moment, I tell myself. It's really all I can do.
Still Alice. Rated PG-13. Now playing only in theaters.
良質熟練の技革新1000年の歴史を持つ文化が最先端の製造技術を使うと待てよあれこれってクライスラー
Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200. America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
You know your dentures can move. Unlike natural teeth, try Fixodent Plus TrueFeel.
I think about the shape. I think about color. I also think about sound. I take it into my brain and I think about what would it look like to me? My Tin Man has a big toe the size of a house. The lion is small like a toy poodle and has webbed duck feet. And he is very scared of everything. My scarecrow has wooden teeth. His fingernails are really long. And his clothes have tubes on them. And that's Dorothy. She looks like me.
Everyone has a favorite movie. Now, people with visual disabilities can find theirs. Comcast is proud to introduce the first talking guide from Xfinity.
Everything home, all in one place. Shop today's sales at wayfair.com.
This March,
one man's trash
get the work
is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Hey everybody, scary moments for a teenager. This is in Cranston, Rhode Island. That is 18-year-old Taylor Pernini trying to get out of the way of a vehicle that slid on a snowy street. And Keith, it's really a miracle that she wasn't seriously hurt by this.
Yeah, it is amazing. This incident occurred when the car was wrecked up the hill and slid down. Luckily, the side of the road kind of helped her out with the snow as well, and she ended up being okay, just minor injuries. No tickets or arrests, but just look, she notices the car coming towards her, tries to get out of the way, and ends up right on her tailbone there. But it's a situation where there's some positive to there being snow, but Kelly, you can also see that kind of hampered her as she tried to get across the street.
Yeah, trying to get to high school, by the way. So, yeah, talk about a rough morning. Minor injuries reported with that. We hope she's doing better today, but very, very scary. Just makes you cringe, right? When you watch that, you feel like you're going through it. Well, we want to take a look at where we could be seeing our next winter storm. Just a minor one. A little clipper coming down from Canada, and we can see it right here. We've got it circled up in just over the state border here up into Canada, where we do have some light snow going on right now. That purple indicating perhaps more of a wintry mix, maybe some freezing rain with that. And we are going to watch this clipper basically clip us across the northern tier of the country. And one thing about these clippers, they tend to move relatively quickly and they don't have a whole lot of moisture associated with them. So it's going to drop mainly 1 to 2 inches, perhaps some areas getting up to 3. But you'll notice it's mainly going to be a Michigan event on into upstate New York, Buffalo, down the way towards Syracuse and Utica, and even across the Adirondack Park, and perhaps some fresh powder for skiers in Vermont as we head towards the weekend. So here's a look at what we're expecting for Buffalo. Yeah, we've got snowflakes in your hourly forecast starting at about 2 o'clock. So right through lunchtime, you're good. The roads should be fine. And then for the most part, I think the plows should be able to keep up with it. Those temperatures just below the freezing mark. But you'll notice that we do have some areas in that darker shade of blue indicating where we could see perhaps more than 3 inches. But for the most part, places like Sault Ste. Marie, down towards Traverse City and Alpena, less than an inch expected here. And across upstate New York, we're talking a general 1 to 3 inch. But of course, we can't rule out the possibility of a few isolated higher amounts, even down toward the Laurel Highlands and down towards Erie, Pennsylvania, perhaps a bit more, especially when we get some orographic lift involved across the hill towns. So there's that potential. We could see a little bit more than what we're seeing here. But generally speaking, a coating to a couple of inches, that is going to be the rule. Now, Syracuse, boy, what a winter you've had, right? Your snowiest February on record. Here we go, marching into the our first full weekend of March, and we've got that snow moving through, starting at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and at times that snow will be heavy and will be difficult to see. So if you're traveling along Interstate 81 or maybe the New York State Thruway, be careful. Visibility could be impacted at times. Otherwise, we're mainly going light snow through the midnight hour and then beginning to taper off as we head past the early morning hours. So Keith, just a very fast-moving clipper, but I think a lot of folks are like over this winter season.
Totally. Any kind of snow they're not going to be happy with. Luckily, not a big storm there. Let's talk about some spring stuff here. How about baseball? Today, we've got a game in Clearwater, Florida between the Yankees and the Phillies. Temperatures there in the mid-70s. There'll be some clouds, but just the idea of playing baseball for a lot of people. There was a point where we were getting blitzed across the Northeast and people were counting down to spring training. That's the kind of winter it's been in the East. And again in Florida, Champion Stadium there. I don't think it's Sam Champions, but it's Champion Stadium. We got the Atlanta Braves here, who are building a new stadium, by the way, literally in the Weather Channel parking lot. It's 100 feet away from here. They're building a new stadium in Cobb County here, and they're playing the Washington Nationals. Should be pretty nice. Temperatures there in the upper 60s and low 70s. And yet another sign of spring is daylight saving time. There's no S on there. People get really upset when you put the S on there. It's daylight saving time. That starts at 2 a.m. on Sunday. So if you're out partying and you want to actually change your clock at that time, you can do it. Otherwise, you can just do it the night before. That's how it works out. It's spring forward, and it ends on November 1st. So that's one thing that makes people feel a lot more like spring. Yeah, the weather will help this week, and also the fact that we're going to get more sunshine, more daylight hours later into the afternoon. And I know, Kelly, that used to kill me when I lived in the Northeast. It'd be dark at like 4 o'clock. It's killer.
The only thing is you lose that hour of sleep.
I know.
Oh, don't be late for church, and make sure you set those clocks accordingly. Keith, thank you so much. Well, a dozen winter storms in just 6 weeks. To say we're ready for spring is quite the understatement, right? Well, coming up, the pattern change headed our way that just might grant that wish and get those gardens blooming. We're going to come back in about 60 seconds after your local on the 8s. And good morning to you in New York City. We're at Central Park. We're at 20 degrees right now. Look at that snow cover on the ground. Still some issues at LaGuardia. Details on that as well. Stay with us.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, cloudy with occasional rain showers. High 81. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, showers early. Low 68. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, cloudy with showers. High 78. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Thank you so much for joining us on Weather Center Live. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Keith Carson. Winter Storm Thor has moved out, but not before leaving snow on the ground from New Mexico to New York. Totally different story, though, today.
I think we're all breathing a sigh of relief. Look at that map. What a difference a day makes. The radar relatively quiet from California over towards New York, maybe a few showers in Florida. But boy, this time yesterday, parts of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast were getting slammed by snow. And right now, this is the quietest we've seen the radar in quite some time.
A long time. Computer model, same thing through the weekend. One place that did get some precipitation right here at the Weather Channel in Atlanta. That snowed this morning. And Kelly, that's some fabulous video. I wonder who shot that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, maybe I have another career in videography. I got a little snow flurry action. It's so funny here at the Weather Channel. Everybody grabs their cameras and runs outside when we get a flurry.
It's amazing out there. We go by that, right? It could be the last flakes we see for a while thanks to that pattern change coming. And that is some good news for some of those sick of the winter season. Storm specialist Dr. Greg Postel is here with what we can expect in the coming days.
Yeah, warming is on the way for many across the country, and especially in the Mid-South, like, for example, in Nashville. Let's have a look at the numbers we've got over the next 10 days. This is going out quite far, but I did that because I want to show you that it's not just 1 or 2 days coming down the road that are going to look pretty good. It's quite a few of them. So starting off today, yeah, it's cold. You got some snow on the ground nearby, but as we go through the next weekend and, yeah, really next weekend, gosh, we're still in the mid-60s. But it's not just Nashville. This is going to be spread out over quite a wide area in the United States. And the reason why, or at least one of them, is the jet stream has got a very peculiar shape to it right now, just upstream across parts of the Pacific. I see a lot of westerly wind coming in here, and what that's going to do is share the wealth from all the warmth that's been out here in the west, and it's going to bodily move that to the east. And gradually we'll see that jet stream move in time through late next week, and there you go. It will allow much warmer times to come across the lower 48, keeping much of the Arctic air bottled up in Canada. And there's a lot of confidence surrounding that. I put a lot of wiggles on here to show you that the ensemble members from the ECMWF model, little tweaks to the model run over and over again, are kind of showing the same thing. So they're all doing the same thing, giving you a lot of confidence right up in here that that's where the jet stream is going to be, likely leaving much of the lower 48 for the next week in relatively mild conditions. It's not ballistically warm, no doubt, in the north, but it's a lot better than it's been over the last month, essentially. Look at some of these numbers for next Thursday, and you can also take it into next Friday as well.
You know how the turbulence feel when you're going up? It felt like that when we hit the ground.
And it wasn't until the plane came to a stop that all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, we just skidded off a runway. I mean, it was just, you know, it's kind of a surreal experience.
You saw it here as breaking news yesterday, a plane skidding off a runway at a busy New York airport. Luckily, though, no one seriously hurt.
Yeah, now the investigation kicks into gear. Reagan Medji is following the latest on this incident from LaGuardia Airport in New York City. And Reagan, we understand that there have been some changes with that runway's open status.
Yeah, so the runway actually has just reopened within the past half hour here at LaGuardia Airport in Queens in New York City. And that runway is the runway that has a lot of eyes looking at it right now. Literally about 24 hours ago to this moment, a Delta flight arriving from Atlanta landed on the runway here at LaGuardia and veered off of the runway 13, through an embankment, through a chain link fence, just inches away from an icy cold Flushing Bay. So, you know, when this was all happening, social media lit up. People have their cell phones right at their side, and some people decided that they were going to take that opportunity to film exactly what was going on while inside the plane and heading out.
Okay, we going out that way or this way?
This way is fine. You can come this way also.
We're going to slide. We don't have the slides. We're going to have to slide off.
And about 24 people reported having minor injuries. As for the NTSB, they will be having 2 teams come here to New York. One team will be examining what exactly happened, and then the second team will be interviewing the pilots and also the passengers. And lastly, the NTSB will get those black boxes and take them down to Washington, where they will be examined. Keith?
All right, thank you, Reagan. Let's talk about how much snow we ended up getting with this system, and obviously that's a big part of what happened there, it would appear at least. 7 inches in New York City. New Bedford, Massachusetts, one of the biggest overperformers with 10 inches of snow up through Cape Cod, Massachusetts as well. They saw some big snowfall. Rhode Island, Philadelphia 7.5, 9 in Columbia, and 5.3 in Washington, D.C. For the most part, this storm behaved itself pretty well. Now, Reagan, obviously things are a lot nicer today. Do we still have some backups to be anticipated even with that runway back open?
Yeah, so right now the FAA is reporting that there's about an hour and 42-minute delays. Now, there were about cancellations going out of LaGuardia to other places. That was about more than 100. Delays could be about 50 plus. Now, that can change throughout the day, as everyone knows. Obviously, there are some spring breaks beginning at this time with certain colleges. So you can imagine that people who had flights booked yesterday were canceled, and now they got to try to get on a flight today, in addition to the people that already had their flights scheduled for today. And of course, if there is anybody on standby, you know, you want to say good luck to them. And lastly, LaGuardia Airport says that if you have any concerns about your flight, where it's going, if it's going to be on time, just head to that particular website, and then you can find out all the information. Keith?
All right, thanks, Reagan. Spring breakers, that Cancun beer isn't going to drink itself. Got to get those kids down there. Thank you very much for that report. And, you know, the storm now, Kelly, out of here, but some pretty cold temperatures still left behind.
Yeah, never mind the beer. How about some hot cider? You're going to need that.
So
some
wholesome.
Hot coffee, hot tea. It is freezing. I mean, literally freezing. Okay, across the Northeast. We shattered some record low temperatures. You see Kennedy got down to 13, tying a record, but Atlantic City, very, very cool. Look at that, 8 degrees, and that broke your old long-standing record of 10 back from the 1800s. So right now we're warming things up slowly but surely. 20 in New York, 20 in Boston, and Keith, we do get warmer, back to average at least for next week.
Yeah, going in the right direction at least. Thank you, Kelly. Winter Storm Thor dumped historic amounts of snow across Kentucky, including 17.1 inches in Lexington, breaking a nearly 100-year-old record. Also caused this, a traffic nightmare on I-65, 26 miles of a traffic jam. We'll be right back.
According to the U.S. Department of Energy, most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste so much energy, it's like leaving a window open in your home all year long. Don't let another year go by. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. And right now, when you buy 2 rooms of windows, you get the 3rd room free. Plus, Champion now offers no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. So call 844-4CHAMPION today, because every home needs a champion.
Does anybody know how I can get a small business loan fast?
I'm a chef.
I'm a stylist.
I sell tires for your car.
I'm a doc in private practice.
That's my name above that bar.
Rapid Advance.
Help my business grow.
Rapid Advance. They didn't say no. Rapid Advance.
I got approval in a day.
Rapid Advance. I got my money right away.
With Rapid, there's no hassles.
No credit checks galore.
You just need to be in business for a year or more.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or visit rapidadvance.com. Get up to $300,000 in just days. 877-GO-RAPID.
Rapid Advance. They didn't say no. Rapid Advance. They help your business grow.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or rapidadvance.com.
Your money's here.
Atlantic Beach Sport.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. High 83. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 68. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, rain, high 78. Chance of rain, 70%. Rainfall around 1/4 inch. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This March, one man's trash, this is perfect, is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Who are we? We are the thinkers, the job jugglers, the up-all-nighters, and the ones who turn ideas into action. We've made our passions our life's work. We strive for the moments where we can say, I did it. We are entrepreneurs who started it all with a signature. LegalZoom has helped start over 1 million businesses, turning dreamers into business owners. And we're here to help start yours.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
All right, listen up. Out on that field today, you will be ready for anything. And I want you to always remember, this is the greatest team you will ever be part of.
And when they're asked, what did you do to make a difference in the world? They can say, I became a soldier.
Well, a nightmare on the interstate. This video is from about 24 hours ago near Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Hundreds of people stuck on the road, some for more than 16 hours without food or water.
Oh, what a nightmare. More than 20 inches of snow from Winter Storm Thor made parts of I-65 shut down yesterday, stranding all these people. National Guard troops had to come in and help clear abandoned vehicles and even rescue. Some drivers had to go around giving out medicine, especially to those who are diabetic, things like that.
We don't plan to be in the car that long at all. Let's go to Dave Malkoff, who's joining us live from Lexington. And Dave, obviously the storm was forecast. Any feeling from people there that it was more or stronger than they anticipated?
Yeah, everybody I've talked to here say that we just don't get this kind of thing here in Lexington, and they really don't. We broke a lot of records yesterday with consecutive 2-day snowfall totals and all the snow on the ground record, low temperatures. It's very, very cold this morning. We're about 13 degrees right now, but when we got up at 4 a.m., we were into the negative temperatures, -1, -2. That's where we were at that point. You saw all those cars that were backed up on the highway. We were afraid this morning that it was going to all repeat itself all over again. When they first got that roadway back open, another truck jackknifed, but somehow they were able to get that truck off of the roadway and get I-65 back up and running. But Kelly, let me tell you, that road is slow going. You want to stay as low as you can on the speedometer because you can spin out really easy in these temperatures.
And Dave, you mentioned how cold it was. It's as low as it could go on the thermometer, too. In fact, we saw a tie as far as our all-time March record low here in Lexington, -2 this morning. And, so that means not just cold for the day, but cold for the entire month of March. So, Dave, that's why all that cold is sticking around out there where you're only in the teens right now.
Yeah, and as I was driving through town, just getting here from the airport, I saw maybe a half-dozen vehicles, Kelly. They were off to the side of the road, and it really makes you think when you're driving past something like that. You look at the vehicle and you go, that could be me. And I think everybody kind of had that in their mind as they were driving through the roadway because they weren't completely plowed. Even the highway, even the loop highway around here was only plowed on one side. So people were basically idling on the highway trying to get to the next exit and make sure that they didn't end up in the ditch like the guy that you just passed.
Exactly. And, we've seen that scene repeated all too often, Dave. Thanks so much. No matter what the forecast, people still get stuck. It's a matter of either everybody getting out on the road at the same time or maybe the treatment that was on the road just got washed away. We had all that heavy rain and then the snow on top of that. And now we still have the very bitter cold temperatures to deal with. In fact, check out the lows that we're tracking here in the south. Memphis, 16. That broke your old record low of 20 back in 1920. Little Rock getting down to 17. Baton Rouge, 26. Jackson, Kentucky. 8 degrees, and that shattered your old record of 22, which was set in 2001. So temperatures in Atlanta today are going to be in the mid-40s. We're in the upper 20s at lunchtime for your Nashville outing. 42 degrees in Jackson, Mississippi. You want the warmth, you got to go all the way down to South Florida, because even northern Florida, we're talking a chilly start to your weekend as well. 41 Jacksonville, 30 for your early morning in Atlanta. So we're still in for another sub-freezing morning across much of the South. We do rebound, though, by the afternoon, getting closer to average. There's Memphis, your average low, 41 degrees. It's not going to be that warm tomorrow morning, but we do warm up by Monday. And you'll see from Atlanta's forecast, spring fever will be setting in with those highs reaching into the mid-60s. That's going to feel pretty good, Keith.
Time for the 6-inch inseam shorts, Kelly. Thank you. Record cold and snow. It's been a 1-2 punch for Memphis.
I'm meteorologist Chris Warren. With the sun shining, this ice, the rock-hard ice on the streets, will turn it into a watery, slushy mess in the afternoon.
And warmer temperatures do return to the south, but so does the rain. We'll talk about when, where, and how much after the break.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk. And I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
Hey, buddy, you're squashing me. Liquid wart remover could take weeks to treat.
Embarrassing, Ward. Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away wipes them out fast with as few as one treatment.
Freeze Away!
Dr. Scholl's, the #1 selling freeze brand.
Boston Market introduces our 2 for $20 complete meal deal. For just $20, get 2 individual meals, like our all-natural rotisserie chicken, 2 classic sides, 2 drinks, and 2 desserts. All for a limited time, only at Boston Market.
It's here. New Fancy Feast broths with chicken. Silky smooth or creamy broths. Now with the real chicken she loves. Never any byproducts or fillers. Being a cat just got more enjoyable. Fancy Feast broths with chicken.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just...
Congratulations, you're down with Crestor.
Yes! When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Crestor lowers bad cholesterol up to 55%. Crestor is not for people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Call your doctor if you have muscle pain or weakness, feel unusually tired, have loss of appetite, upper belly pain, dark urine, or yellowing of skin or eyes. These could be signs of serious side effects.
I'm down with Crestor.
Make your move. Ask your doctor about Crestor.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over the counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
So call now, 1-800-418-1560. Online at drchipper.com.
This March,
one man's trash
get the work
is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. today. Considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. High 83. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early. Low 68. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, rain. High 78. Chance of rain 70%. Rainfall around 1/4 inch. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey everybody, new video into the Weather Channel. Check out these scary moments for a teenager, Cranston, Rhode Island. That is 18-year-old Taylor Pernini trying to get out of the way of this vehicle as it slipped on the snowy street. She was on her way to high school, by the way, when this happened. Look at that.
Well, this incident occurred when the cars wrecked and slid down the hill into her. Luckily, the snow on the side of the road did break her fall a little bit. She was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but she is okay. There was no ticket or anything with this incident because obviously they had no control.
Yeah, a couple things happening here. There's an accident here. She sees the accident. She's trying to get out of the way, but she herself slips on the icy roadway, and that's when the car just gets right into her there.
Yeah, if we had normal footing, you'd probably get out of the way. This guy's on his phone.
He just barely makes it out of the way.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, you know, this car is still going.
Oh my
He must have just missed that. Luckily, no one seriously injured. This obviously was surveillance video, and we were saying that they may actually fix that car.
The Cranston Collision Center. Yeah,
right
absolutely.
after that happens.
Well, Taylor, we're so glad that you're okay because just watching that, it just really makes your blood pressure go up and your heart rate go up, right?
All right, here's another kind of video, a little bit easier to take. Aerial video of the snow that's on the ground in Memphis, Tennessee. Nearly 4 inches fell during Thor there. Heavy snow and rain in Tennessee have led to flooded roads and problems on some of the highways there.
Yeah, let's take a look at what Memphis looks right about now. We've got cold temperatures still. We were in the teens earlier. We're now into the 20s, and you can still see a lot of snow on the ground there. We had about 3.1, a record.
Yeah, a little more pavement than we saw last hour. It's something, though. Meteorologist Chris Warren has been on the ground in Memphis most of the week.
And with the sun coming out today, he says people there should expect the roads to be soaking wet once all that snow melts.
Clear and cold in the Memphis area, and with the temperatures dropping down in the teens overnight, everything that melted yesterday refroze overnight and this morning. And you look, rock solid. This all is going to melt again. You're not going to see all the snow go away, but the areas right in here where cars are traveling right now, the sun will be strong enough to melt this, and there will be a lot of puddles out here. We did see that during the day yesterday. Even though temperatures stayed below the freezing mark, the sun this time of year is high enough in the sky to penetrate into the ice and onto the ground to warm things up enough that melting does happen. And with all of this slush, all of this muck, possibly covering drains even right here, we can't tell because it is completely covered, there will be some big puddles. We did see that yesterday and expecting that again today. It is going to be a wet, sloppy mess throughout much of the Mid-South, from Nashville to Memphis to Little Rock. With all of the snow, you're going to be dealing with a lot of parking lots with a lot of water. So even though we're not expecting any more sun, make sure when the sun is out, you need your sunglasses and your rain boots because of the watery mess we're expecting. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren, just outside of Memphis. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's take you now into New Orleans. You know, New Orleans is a great town, right, Michael Lowry? We got Michael Lowry over there, our storm surge guy. He's from New Orleans.
Yep.
He turned me on to it. Great town. Looking nice right now in the 50s today.
Oh, it is looking beautiful there in the French Quarter right now. However, with the warm-up, we will have some raindrops coming from the sky.
We will. So New Orleans, some showers in here Monday and Tuesday. The weekend looks okay for the most part.
Not too bad. We can deal with clouds and 67. That sounds pretty good.
That. Let's take a look at this changing pattern because it means warmth for some people, but some rain in the southeast.
Yeah, we do have the southern branch of the jet stream getting a little active here. We do have the warm-up, but with that, we will have periods of showers and something interesting we were watching in the Gulf as well with this.
Yeah, you know, at one point it was trying to spin it into a real low that we were watching. Now it looks like maybe impulses along the subtropical jet stream, which is diving in the south. The position of this jet favorable in general, but it is going to bring us some showers here for a couple days.
So while we get a warm-up in places like Atlanta, Birmingham, and New Orleans, you'll need the umbrella, but at least you don't have to layer up as much.
Yeah, it's something. All right, heavy snow and low visibility both in play as a Delta plane skidded off the runway in LaGuardia.
That's right. We have an update from there and here and see the panic moments following as passengers had to evacuate that airplane and what the investigators are learning about it now. That's when we come back.
This program brought to you by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
There's people who care where I'm going, and good friends who welcome me home. So get a full tank of freedom, drive the American road. And with a full tank of freedom, find your own highway. We'll take you wherever you go. Take you wherever you go.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless,
You were out of control.
but not always.
Welcome back. Big news from Beverly Hills. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Orden has discovered an anti-aging breakthrough called Fill and Freeze, and he's giving away 1 million bottles free.
I've spent nearly 30 years looking for an effective, instant breakthrough to reduce the appearance of wrinkles that can be applied topically instead of with surgery or invasive medical techniques. And I finally found it with Derm Exclusives Fill and Freeze.
Wow, I'm young again. I don't feel like an old lady. The lines are gone.
Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe it. It looks really good. It gives you a whole new confidence.
It definitely took 10 years off. If I went to a dermatologist here in the city, I would pay $300-400 for this.
I know you're wondering what Derm Exclusive can do for you. Well, you don't have to wonder. You can order it right now and try it for yourself absolutely risk-free. And here's how.
Call now during this special direct-to-consumer offer and you won't pay $120. Today, you can get your own instant results with Fill and Freeze for only $59. But that's not all. Today, we're taking another $20 off, so now you can get this instant wrinkle-removing miracle for the low price of only $39.95. And as part of our 1 million bottle giveaway, Dr. Orden is including a second $60 bottle of Fill and Freeze free. That's nearly $120 of Fill and Freeze for only $39.95. Dr. Orden will even include his Micro-Pure Resurfacing Pads, Intensive Repair Serum, and Collagen Lift Moisturizer, a $200 value, free. Order now and we'll even upgrade your order to Express Delivery. That's a $15 value, free. Plus, you even get to try it risk-free for 30 days with our money-back guarantee. But you must call to order. Call 1-800-730-7432. That's 1-800-730-7432. Order now.
Atlantic Beach Sports.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. High 83. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 68. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, rain, high 78. Chance of rain 70%. Rainfall around 1/4 inch. Here's our 7-day outlook.
One man's trash. This is perfect. Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
I just survived a plane crash. And it wasn't until the plane came to a stop that all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, we just skidded off a runway.
we've been stuck since like 10:15 last night, and the snow has piled up so high. When we open the car doors, it pushes the snow out of the way. I have been melting ice and snow to drink.
Ice and snow mixture of it. That's what the worst part of it.
It was kind of a surreal experience.
Hey, what a difference a day makes. 24 hours after the chaos of Winter Storm Thor, take a look at the radar right now. It has been a while since we've seen something that quiet. A few showers in Florida, but nah.
Yeah, we all deserve a break though, right?
Yeah.
Especially after this past 6 weeks or so, we've had back-to-back winter storms, finally getting a break out there from coast to coast, and it's all part of a possible pattern change or maybe even a sneak preview of spring. Doesn't that sound good?
It does.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Keith Carson. So Thor, obviously our big story yesterday. What a change between, you know, we had the runway situation, we had people stuck in the roads, now 24 hours later things are quiet. But Thor did leave a pretty big path behind it.
Yeah, a lot of cold air too, record-breaking cold as a matter of fact. We're going to take a look at that, but take a look at this wide swath of snow from Winter Storm Thor, leaving that mess on I-65 that stranded people for more than 15 hours. Interstate 40 in Memphis, Tennessee was really impacted by the snow there. Some places in the state getting more than a foot.
Yeah, and the nation's capital practically shut down yesterday by 5 inches or so of snow, and they got over 4 inches of snow from Thor on Long Island, New York. It was a passenger nightmare, though. A Delta flight packed with people comes in for a landing in the driving snow.
And it skid right off the LaGuardia runway in New York, coming to a rest just inches from the water's edge. Here's NBC's Tom Costello with a look at what happened.
Amateur video from inside Delta Flight 1086 as crew members and firefighters helped passengers escape.
We're going to slide. We don't have the slides. We're going to have to slide off. Sir. Please, over there.
I just survived a plane crash.
The MD-88 with 132 people on board had careened off the runway up an embankment and crashed through a fence, its nose just inches from Flushing Bay. The first word that the plane was in trouble came from ground crews who radioed the tower.
Tower, you copy. Call 100. Runway 13 is closed. Call 100. You said runway 13 is closed? Affirmative. 13 is closed. Tower, you have an aircraft off the runway. Call 100. Say again. Please advise crash rescue. LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time.
Flight 1086 was coming in from Atlanta, landing on LaGuardia's runway 13 in snow and icy fog. Suddenly, about 2/3 of the way down the runway, the plane veered to the left. Only that embankment and fence kept it from going into the freezing water.
He's leaking fuel on the left side of his aircraft heavily. You said leaking fuel? A-firm. His wing is ruptured.
NBC's Stephanie Gosk talked to Allie Clark, who was sitting in the emergency row.
Are you ready and prepared to help people out of the plane?
I absolutely was.
Terrific. So you were like filing people up. Were there little kids on board?
There were a couple of parents traveling with their kids, and everybody took great care of everybody getting off the plane.
Airport managers say the runway had been plowed just prior to the accident, and only 4 minutes earlier, other pilots reported no difficulty landing.
Approximately 11:05, 2 planes landed and reported, quote, good braking action on the runways.
But LaGuardia's short runways can be challenging in the best of conditions.
Pilots have to be concerned about getting the airplane down in the first third of the runway. They want it planted solidly, especially on a slick or wet runway. They don't have a lot of margin of error.
We do have some new information regarding what happened at LaGuardia.
Yeah, let's go to Reagan Medji, who is live for us right now in LaGuardia. And Reagan, what is the latest at the airport right now?
The latest at the airport is back in operation. All the runways have been reopened within the past hour, and it seems as though all the flights are doing pretty well. We do have some cancellations. We do have some delays, and according to FAA.gov, you can see how long those delays are. At this point, we're almost at 2 hours for delayed flights going out of LaGuardia. But of course, LaGuardia is saying, you know what, to really be exact, you want to check your specific airline's website to see the status of your flight, because also you have to think and keep in mind, after the slip yesterday from a Delta flight arriving from Atlanta, their flights were canceled and they were stuck here in LaGuardia, stuck in the area. And today also starts spring break for many college students, so you can combine those two things. Now let's look at the NTSB. They have 2 teams of people coming up to New York, to LaGuardia. Those teams of people will be investigating different aspects of this incident yesterday at around 11 o'clock in the morning. The first team is going to be examining the plane and everything that has to do with exactly how did this happen. The second team is going to be interviewing the passengers and also the pilots, and told there were about 24 people who were injured yesterday, minor injuries. And the NTSB also says that they're going to look at those black boxes that everybody always talks about. Those black boxes will be heading down to Washington, to the Washington lab for further investigation. Keith?
All right, thank you. Reagan Medji live for us this morning, and obviously that's going to be an investigation that takes a little while. Behind Thor, by the way, it's still cold. You know, we're talking about how we're going to warm up. That's going to happen eventually, but at first, you get another cold day today and part of tomorrow. Right now, temperatures right around 20 degrees from Boston to New York City. And as the day progresses, yeah, it's early March sun, but it's going to be hard for us to really warm up here. We're staying on the cool side back into the teens during the overnight hours. So this isn't an instant thing, this pattern change. But look at D.C. going from 30 today all the way up to 60 on Wednesday. They're not the only ones that'll be warmer. Boston, Kelly, this is perfect for Boston snowpack. Warm, but not too warm for flooding problems.
Right, nice gradual warm up, Keith. Thanks so much. Well, of course, Kentucky was hit hard by both record-breaking snow and cold temperatures. Dave Malkoff joins us live now from Lexington, where hopefully it's a little bit warmer for you, Dave, but at least we've got the sunshine.
Yeah, it's balmy. It's 13 degrees. It's balmy out here when you wake up in the morning and it's 0, then it dips down to -3. So as we are gradually going up, as you were just talking about, the fear is that all this snow will turn into water if it gets too hot too fast. That's not happening here. We are still well below freezing, and we will be throughout the day here. It is very cold, bone-chilling cold this morning here in Lexington. So cold that even when they opened up the roadway, the I-65, where there was that long traffic nightmare, almost 30 miles of backed up traffic and people stuck in their car for up to 16 hours, they had another accident right after that on the slick roads. Another accident just like the one that caused that backup, but this was a different day. They were able to get that vehicle off the roadway and get I-65 back and moving. Slow going still here in Lexington, Kentucky. But as people are moving forward in the day, they're very thankful that, Kelly, this is not a repeat of what happened yesterday.
Exactly. Dave, thanks so much. And as I'm watching those cars behind Dave, just make sure you get all that snow off the back of your car. Do your neighbor a favor, whoever's going to be driving behind you, because otherwise you get that snow falling right in your face on the windshield. But let's talk temps, because Dave, looks pretty cold out there, and here's why. 17 right now in Lexington. We've got 18 in Cleveland, 16 degrees in Chicago. But boy, our pattern is about to change for the weekend. We're going to tap some of that warmer air, a little bit of a ridge that's going to be building across the middle of the country, and that sends our cold air retreating back into Canada. So while those temperatures have been well below average, next couple of days featuring above average, in fact, way above average for the plains as we head into the weekend and beyond. Keith?
Kelly, thank you. Winter Storm Thor may be gone, but in its wake, record cold across much of the eastern United States. Plus, staggering numbers about the flu. It remains widespread this week, especially in the Northeast. More on that coming up.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. High 83. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 68. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, rain, high 78. Chance of rain 70%. Rainfall around 1/4 inch. Here's our 7-day outlook.
What's this?
A box
It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
Hi, Phil Swift here. This is FlexShot, the easy way to caulk, bond, and seal virtually everything.
And it's so easy to use. Simply push the trigger to make quick repairs with pinpoint accuracy. FlexShot fills huge cracks and holes, making everything completely waterproof.
FlexShot comes out nice and thick. It fills in large cracks and holes, and when you stop, it stops. And it dries to this, a super tough, stretchy rubber. It expands and contracts.
Water gushes out of this huge hole. But after it's sealed with FlexShot, there's absolutely no leaks. That's amazing. FlexShot is a super strong adhesive. It's ideal for all your repairs.
To show you the strength of FlexShot, I'm going to blast holes in that boat with this cannon. Ready? Look at all this damage, and we're going to repair it using FlexShot. FlexShot sealed every hole. Imagine what you can do with the power of FlexShot.
This incredible formula lasts up to 30 years and is mildew resistant, perfect for kitchens and baths.
Messy caulks dry out. What a waste. But with FlexShot, there's no waste. You can use it over and over again.
You can get FlexShot for just $19.99. Plus, we'll include this extension tube. But wait, we're going to double your order. That's 2 cans of FlexShot. Plus, I'll throw in a free handy can of Flex Seal, the easy way to stop leaks fast. You get it all for just $19.99. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-738-4541. That's 1-800-738-4541. Or go to FlexShotTVOffer.com. This offer is not available in stores, so call or click now.
Is your back acting up again? Is lower back pain a daily drain? If you're one of the millions who suffer from the agony of lower back pain, you need Be Active, the revolutionary new pressure system that helps ease discomfort in your lower back, buttocks, and legs. Watch. Just slip on Be Active and tighten the strap. You'll soon begin experiencing pain relief. Look, back pain often radiates from the lower back to your lower extremities. But apply Be Active to the point in the calf muscle to relieve pain. The secret is the pressure pad that gently compresses, alleviating pain to the nerve and lower back.
Be Active provides firm pressure behind the knee on the specific pressure point, which can help relieve the pain and suffering from sciatica.
I just slide it on, I tighten the strap, I feel the pressure point right behind my knee, and right away I feel the release of pain in my lower back.
Wow, I can feel comfort already.
It's like right away relief.
I just put it on, but I can feel it already easing the pain.
You can't see the relief? I can feel it.
It kind of feels like it's relaxing that muscle.
But now I don't feel the pain at all. This is really something.
Be Active gives you the ability to be active again. Wear it while exercising. Keep up with the kids. It's invisible under clothing, comfortable enough to sleep in. Be Active easily adjusts to fit almost any leg. Be Active is always there to deliver the pain relief you need. Now feel the freedom of being active again with the pressure point therapy of Be Active for just $19.99. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing. If you don't begin to feel quick back relief, send it back and owe nothing. You get it all for just $19.99. So call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-732-6143. That's 1-800-732-6143. Or go online at beactivebrace.com. Call or click today. That's 1-800-732-6143.
Hey, Los Angeles, looking pretty good this morning.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the 60s right now, but we got some Santa Ana factor through today.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a wind advisory through about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it's that warm wind that's really going to warm us up into the 80s from Malibu to the Hollywood Hills. So, yeah, we do have concern, of course, for fire danger, unfortunately, because it's been oh so dry here in California.
Yeah, you know, that story's still ongoing, and it's just been, the weather across the east has been so crazy. We're not trying to neglect California, but it just hasn't been that busy lately. Right now, winds looking fine, but we expect those will pick up. And also a problem with that can be driving. If you have a high-profile 2-mile vehicles, sometimes those gusty winds an issue there as well. So that's what's going on in the west. Their pattern changing as well.
Yeah, warm, that's been the pattern across the west, but across the eastern half of the country, it is all about the cold.
More record lows. Each one of these dots, a lot in the mid-Atlantic, but look all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Got a few record lows there. Not as cold, obviously, but still records. And a lot of places, not just the day record, but the month record.
The entire month of March, and the month is still young. We're talking Lexington, Kentucky, getting down to -2. That tied your all-time March record low. So it hasn't been this cold in some time.
Yeah, and obviously they got a bunch of snow,
and
too.
A lot of
so
snow
other than that, it's been a great 24 hours. Paducah, Kentucky, 6 below. Look at that all-time record low, smashing it.
-2, that was the old one. So out with the old, in with the new, and we've got cold temperatures even in the northeast. Behind Winter Storm Thor, Pittsburgh getting down to -3. That was also a new record all-time March low.
So those are those spots, and obviously snowpack has a lot to do with it. Look at the snowpack all the way into the mid-south.
It's especially thick across upstate New York and New England. It has been quite the winter season, and maybe that's why the flu has been so bad, right? In fact, we're going to talk about that right now with the flu. It's still pretty widespread in a few states out there, but luckily it's going down a little bit now in numbers.
Yeah, and the flu, obviously the dreaded winter illness that keeps us out of work and curled up in bed.
Sam Champion provides some surprising and staggering statistics about the sickness in this edition of Brainstorm.
Winter is the peak season for flu, even though the CDC reports the illness can strike as late as May. This despite massive efforts every year to limit the number of infections by the use of flu vaccines. 150 million doses of vaccine are administered in the U.S. every year. Here's something you might not know. A key ingredient in those vaccines is gelatin, a crucial agent used as a stabilizer. And when added up, all those doses equal about 100 pounds of gelatin. And that's enough to produce marshmallows for 200,000 s'mores. Statistics show the vaccine does help, giving you far less a chance to catch the illness than the 165 million Americans who remain unvaccinated. It's actually more people than the entire population of Russia. If you do get the flu, the fever that comes with it is one of the most intense symptoms. In fact, to instantly raise the core temperature of all flu-infected Americans from a healthy 98.6 to a fever of 102 degrees, it would take 11,000 megawatts of power. And that's 1.5 times the capacity of the most powerful nuclear energy plant in the world. And if we're sick with the flu or just a common cold, a lot of us opt for a classic home remedy: chicken noodle soup. An estimated 2 million gallons of this mom's favorite medicine will be consumed in the flu season. And if every sick person has just 2 cups, we'll be slurping down 25,000 miles worth of noodles. And that's about the length it would take to wrap the circumference of the Earth in one long noodle. And now you've been brainstormed. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
I love the way he said chicken noodle soup around the globe because everybody is sick.
Right. Did that make you hungry, by the way, or feel sick?
I think hungry. I think hungry is where I came out of that. Did you get your flu shot this year?
I did, on the air here. Well, yeah.
On the air?
I don't usually get a flu shot, but someone convinced me to do it.
You're supposed to, and I'm proud of you for doing it on the air. Hey, we're going to talk about winter weather update coming up. No more soup and wrapping around the globe, I think.
Brainstorm, brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough.